So the training team is me. So I'm part of the org help team, as we call it. And with everything that's been going on now, it was realized that we probably wouldn't get more dedicated people just to help with the training. But with Salesforce in itself, just training to that and helping people in that medium is very cumbersome and time consuming. So when we saw Spekit, it kind of filled the void of a whole head count in just being able to teach people on the go in their workflow without having to have me there or somebody else is there along the way. So it was amazing to have that, in the process learning that it solved for us. So that was really awesome when we were able to implement that and basically take the place of a person training. Instead of asking me questions, they're able to just go to this tool. And if the tool doesn't answer the question, there's a way for people to ask the question through the tool. So it keeps driving that engagement. So that was really kind of the big void that it filled in helping us kind of create almost another training individual within our department.
That's awesome.
We want to empower our end users to make sure that they can make decisions on their own and they can learn what they need to do, even through COVID. One of the cool things one of our folks said was, before in training, I could just swivel my chair and take a look over and ask somebody, and our Salesforce team would run over and help me. And when you're at home, how do you do that? So we call Spekit our swivel chair, if you will, right? So the tools inside of Salesforce, they can just swivel right over to that and they can find their training. And our team, I think NorthMarq, who's on the call, is creating specs all the time, right? And building that more and more. So I think having that constant communication and that change enablement with training, those also kind of build out what we're doing.
But what I love, and I'm not trying to push Spekit so much, but what I love about Spekit is that how all of that just-in-time learning is very contextual, right at the point of what you need, and really it can help drive you through the process. When you think about all of a sudden, we called it swivel chair enablement way back in the day, because right now no one can really swivel in their chairs. But when you needed an answer to a question, you would just swivel chair and basically ask your colleague, your neighbor, whoever, or in our personal world, we just go to Google, right, and it's right there, right in time. But I think as we think about this, like, how do we bring more of that contextual information right at the point of need? And that is one of the biggest things that I think is cracking the code on that just-in-time enablement to really help our reps be more productive. And I feel like Spekit, you guys have a really, that's why I'm here. I think you guys have a really great way of thinking about how that just-in-time learning happens.
With the vast majority of our own organization, our own user base being remote, that is a factor that had to be addressed really first and foremost. So not only were they going to need the ease of use and the accessibility, but also to have a go-to source, a reliable go-to source that they could consistently reference and share, so that for time and efficiency purposes, also for streamlining comprehension and workflows, that they can be pointed toward a single source of truth. And we can obtain real-time feedback. We can facilitate real-time updates when it comes to our content to support whether it's a small minor update or change in the system that impacts people or something much larger. That's all something that we can utilize Spekit to support those efforts.